was a little girl, I would build little houses with stones and straw. My little village even had a well. It was a hole I stood out of the dust. I put stones around it and filled it with water from my mother's big jar in the kitchen. I sang as I carried the stone, and I sang as I built my little village. I sang as I carried the water. I remember the woman who lived next to us. One day I heard her say to my mother, "Rachel lives in a dream world." My mother smiled and said, "Let her sing and dream while she may." Then life changed for me. I was given in marriage. My husband didn't let me sing when there was work to be done. I cleaned, cooked, and carried water. I even helped remove stone from the fields. But there was no music in my work or in my life. My dreams were gone. How can life be filled with activity yet still be empty? You know what happened. I met a man and he paid attention to me. He smiled and flattered me. I fell into temptation. Life was empty for me. It had no purpose or meaning. What did it matter? I mattered to no one, not even to myself. So I became an adulteress. Me convertí en una adúltera. My husband must have suspected because he set spies and we were caught. I suppose I did matter to him when it came to someone else possessing his property. Even after all this time, I can barely bring myself to think about what happened next to that terrible afternoon. Men came crashing into my house and dragged me out into the street. The shock of them suddenly there in the room, their rough hands seizing me, forcing me through the door without letting me cover myself. They dragged me along the dusty road. Then they flung me down at the feet of a man seated in the temple. As I lay there, my mind cleared a little. Humiliation greater than the sea flowed me, and I lay there drowning in it and prayed for it to be over. Una humillación tan grande me inundó como un mar que caí para enterrarme. Oré para que todo acabara muy pronto. Sabía que iban a matarme. I knew they would kill me. I prayed for it to end. I saw someone picking up a stone. I wondered how long it would take them to kill me. Would someone hit me on the head with the first stone and kill me quickly? Or would it take all afternoon to die? I hear one of them tell the man in the temple that I was an adulteress and ask if they should stone me to death. I tried to see the face of this man who would judge whether I live or die. He bent down and wrote something in the dust. I tried to see what he has written, but I was afraid to lift my head. Then I heard him say to the crowd of men gathered there, "If you never sin, then throw your stone. Si tú nunca has pecado, tira la primera piedra." My flesh ran from my bones, and I tried to melt into the dust away from the first cruel pain of a stricken stone. And then we wait, he and I, for the rain of the dead to follow me. But nothing happened. It got quiet. There was no sound at all, except for the sound of stones falling, just falling out of their hands. Then I heard the shuffling of feet, as if the crowd was leaving. This man went on writing on the dust, and this time I did lift my head to look into his face. He was looking at me. And more than that, he was seeing me, not just the lonely wife, not just the adulterous woman. He was seeing me, the builder, the singer, the dreamer. "Why are you accuser?" he asked me. I looked around and saw no one. "Does no one accuse you?" he asked. I shook my head and whispered, "No one." He smiled again in the same way and said, "Neither do I accuse you. Go now and sin no more." I stood up and looked down at the dust where he has been written. His quick fingers had erased what had been written there before I could see. But I know what it was, because he wrote the words on my heart as well in the dust. Él escribió palabras en mi corazón, tanto como en el polvo. But I knew, for he had written words on my heart. He has written forgiveness. He has written mercy. He has written music.